Restoring an old building is a little bit like awakening somebody that needs to get back in shape, develop a new form of energy. It's an exercise that is very expensive. Some more easier path could be actually followed. But instead, I always try to keep in mind that the 21 is made out of people. The fact that we want to be proud of the place in which we work. I have to admit that I'm very lucky in this respect because in my life I could have counted on a very good model, which is my father. My father actually built the first factory in the 60s with no money, but it was the first factory with air conditioning for the workers because he wanted people to be happy where they were working. This type of approach has taught me that you always have to think outside of the box.
We will have to think not just about protecting palazzos, but how to reuse other buildings which might not be quite so significant. I think it's important that we protect much more, both from a point of view of meaning and memory and culture, but increasingly as well from a point of view of sustainability, and this will become much more the focus of urban development.
La cosa che mi rende più gioiosa, più felice, sono i risultati che abbiamo ottenuto e che stiamo ottenendo e sono le persone che stanno lavorando qui con me, perché comunque credo che il lavoro del restauratore sia un lavoro di gruppo, di squadra, per portare alla luce una cosa un po' più grande. E questo grazie anche ad Alessandro che ha creduto tanto in noi e si è fidato molto anche della nostra esperienza e del nostro lavoro.
You have to know that in the private equity business, we are very selective in how we invest our money. It's always a matter of return. In reality, when it comes to our firm, and so to 21 Invest, we feel that it's important also to give continuity to our business and to invest also for the future of our firm. And having a hometown and having an headquarter is part of the firm, is something that completes the firm and it gives stability and it is part of its identity.
Noi abbiamo l'abitudine di vedere questi edifici a valle della storia, quando ormai sono stati svuotati dalle loro funzioni originarie. Quella Repubblica di Venezia è svanita, quelle famiglie patrizie sono sparite anch'esse o comunque si sono modificate, metamorfizzate col cambiamento dei tempi, per cui si è persa nozione, sembra che siano case di ricchi, così che le ville siano luoghi di svago di persone oziose, mentre erano centri aziendali come oggi lo sarebbe una società per azioni o una piccola industria, piene di persone.
At the end of the day, it all boils down to the perspective. If what we're doing we think is going to last for 500 years, then eventually whatever investment we're making is irrelevant. If differently, we're trying to amortize it within 3, 4, 5 years, then I have to admit that what we're doing is absolutely crazy. But my conviction, and that is integral part of the philosophy of 21 Invest, is that we should always think that what we're doing as entrepreneurs, as managers, has to do with philosophy, has to do with ethical values, has to do with a moral sense that we give into our lives, in which whatever we do has to do also with the future generation. It's refreshing to see that new generations are much more sensitive than the previous one to these topics, and that makes me confident that this type of approach is the approach of the future. And that's why it's worthwhile doing something crazy like restoring an old building and thinking about the next 500 years.